history through the ages with Lucas Hersey. We're going to have a historian for Cleopatra, Abe Lincoln, and Alexander the Great. Our first person today is going to be Alexander the Great's historian. Now he'll be here in a few seconds. Have a good day. And we are sponsored by Coca-Cola. Get your 0 calories. Alright, Zach, you're the historian for Alexander the Great. Please come in.
Thank you.
This is
very good to be here today.
So, Zach, my first question today will be...
What's your question, Luke? I'm
dying
to answer.
Where was he born?
Well, according to what I've learned through my many years of history teaching and learning at Yale University, I've learned that he was born in Macedonia. It's a Greek state, I guess you could say, northern Greece. Really, really luxurious place, you know. It's nice, you know. He was the son of Philip II, and I can't remember what his mother's name was, though. Not Cleopatra, Olympias was his mother's name. And anyway, yeah, he was born in Macedonia. He was turned out to be a good leader. He really did. He had a really good childhood. He was taught by Aristotle, and many of you may know Aristotle. He was a great Greek philosopher. You know, he was really well known. And anyway, Philip II got Alexander's teacher, and it turned out to be Aristotle. So that was really, really interesting. And yeah, he had a really good childhood.
So my second question is, how did he die?
Well, there's a lot of theories on how Alexander the Great died. You know, there's theories that he was murdered, theories that, you know, he just, I don't know, there's a lot of different ways that you can think about it, but what I learned in my time of teaching history was, and studying history at Yale, as I already mentioned, his wife poisoned him. That's what I heard. His wife poisoned him, and his wife was apparently jealous whatever was going on in his life there. He was getting all the glory and she wasn't, kind of thing. So yeah, she poisoned him, and apparently that's how he died. But like I said, there's a lot of different theories and views on how it actually happened.
So if my wife puts something in my coffee, I better check it then. Anyways, how did his last conquest last?
Well, how long his conquest did last? Well, combining his time in Persia and combining his time in concerning like the Battle of Hydaspes and all those other battles that consisted of the Persian Empire, the conquest lasted about 10 years altogether. 10 years through the Persian conquest, the Indian campaign, until his death lasted about 10 years. So he had 10 years under his belt. And and when he first came to power when he was 20 years old, I believe. 20 years old. Really young. Just a strong leader. Very strong leader.
Well, thank you, Zach, for coming in today. This is the great historian, came from Yale, and he does drink a lot of Coke Zero.
Very, very, very interesting. You know, I was glad to be here.
Right. And now our next representative of our historical people is Abraham Lincoln's historian, Brandon, and I'd like for him to come in now.
Hi.
Good to see you, Brandon.
It's good.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Now this video is still sponsored by Coca-Cola. Okay, the first question I have to ask is, when was he born?
Born in 1806.
Is that everything?
He was also born in Illinois on a farm.
Was it a hard life?
Farm boy. That's...
For him it was, because, you know, he had to work on farm, he got hurt a lot. You know, it's farm stuff. He'd get hurt and he'd go back to work.
Who was his parents?
His dad was Thomas Lincoln and his mom was Nancy Hawks, and then she died some years after, and he got married to Sarah.
Sorry, I don't mean to question your authority in your history. Was it Hawks or Hanks?
Hanks, sorry, thank you.
Hanks, yes. That's one thing I do know.
Yes.
Did his parents have a big influence on him?
That I do not know.
I guess you'd have to be there to know that.
Yeah.
Why the beard?
Because when they first did a giant picture of him to support his campaign, he had marks from doing umbering and farming
Scars,
and all
right?
that.
Scars.
Yeah.
Scars.
And so he had a bunch of scars, and people didn't know it was him. So he had to put on the beard to hide the scars, and the people thought he looked better.
Plus, in my opinion, that looked pretty good. Am I right?
Yeah.
Looked pretty good.
Beards
handsome
do
man.
look pretty good.
You and your scruff.
Or scruffs.
Who wants a scarred face looking loser on the $5 bill?
Exactly.
Not me.
Just saying. Doesn't work.
If we
This
were
is American
American.
television, by the way. I'm
So
pretty sure Canadians wouldn't say that
we're allowed to say this.
because he was our president.
Okay. Thank you, boys, for coming in. Now we're going to get the representative for Cleopatra, but I got fired, so there's going to be a new person coming in.
He said something to someone, out back, and the producers didn't really like it that well. And personally, I agree with them. You need to go.
Maybe it's from all that Coca-Cola I've been drinking.
Anyway, okay. Music. Press the center button and play. Hello, everybody, and welcome to History Through the Ages. I'm Zach Wilson. The other guy got fired because he sucked. Anyway, it's good to be here today, and we have very many special guests. On our last segment, you saw Alexander the Great, and he is pretty significant in history. Anyway, our new not contestant, but guest is Miss Cleopatra, historian. She's filled with knowledge, filled with dozens of very interesting points, and he has a lot of information that he wants to share with you today. Anyway, so, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cleopatra's historian, Lucas Hersey.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you.
It's nice to see you, too.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so I just have a few questions for you today on Cleopatra. The first question is simply, who was she?
She was a Greek pharaoh, but really, when she went into the Egyptian Empire, she took over power because of her husband, or her father and her brother were already in power in Egypt because of Alexander the Great.
Yeah.
So, when she was born in Egypt, but she was from a Greek dynasty. So
Okay.
technically, she was Greek, but she was still Egyptian.
Yeah.
So-
So where she was an Egyptian, I don't mean to interrupt you there, but where she was an Egyptian and where she was from Greece but living in Egypt, did that make her a pharaoh at any point?
It made her a pharaoh because her ties with marrying her brothers, she could easily take power, but it was a shared power for the throne.
Okay.
Cleopatra didn't want that. So later, when Rome tried to occupy Greece, they took over Greece, and then they went for Egypt. She took over Pharaoh by influences of Julius Caesar.
Oh, okay. Julius Caesar is also another very historically significant character. The first senator of Rome, possibly.
No, he wasn't the first senator, but he was the first person to try to become an emperor.
Yeah, first person to try and become an emperor. That's what I meant to say.
He was pretty much an emperor without a crown, but he did do very well.
Yeah.
So he did do very well, and he had a lot of significance in other places. So when Cleopatra came to power, she married and had kids with Julius Caesar, and then she also had. Once Caesar died, she married Mark Antony.
Right. Okay. Well, that was quite an elaboration on question one. Anyway, moving on to question two. just a simple question. When was she born? Do you know when she was born?
It's hard to say when she was born because there wasn't really much recordings of it. But I'm trying to think. It's obviously right after Alexander the Great's death.
Right.
But I think she was.
And like we heard from our last presentation, Alexander the Great was possibly poisoned, but there was also other theories on that. Anyway, okay. Now moving on to our third question. This kind of almost ties into something that you mentioned in question 1. Who was her husband?
She had multiple husbands. Her first husband was her brother Claudius, and then she had then her next husband, which was Julius Caesar, and then her husband after that was Mark Antony, and she married one of her cousins again to keep power. She went back to Mark Antony, and then she was killed with her husband Mark Antony in the last fight for Egypt as a power. So she got around the block.
Yeah, she was quite, we won't go there. But anyway. So, and you also mentioned something there. There's also, it has to do with, kind of, probably intertwined with Cleopatra, but more has to do with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. But they did have a battle, didn't they, at one point?
No, it wasn't Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. It was Mark Antony and Octavian.
Octavian, that's right.
Octavian
Right.
wanted full power, but Mark Antony was sharing the power with him. But
With Octavian.
Octavian
Yeah.
took over and decided to get rid of Cleopatra because he thought Cleopatra was going to control Rome here
Yeah.
pretty soon.
All right. Well, that's about all I had for today, and hopefully after this segment I won't get fired, but things happen, you know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been good to have you on the show today, and unfortunately we're all out of time. But we'll see you guys next week on History Through the Ages. I'm your host, Zach Wilson. We had Mr. Lucas Hersey here today. Good to have you. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Have a wonderful time. Oh, shoot. Yeah.
How the hell did you press off? That's gonna show up, I think you know, right?
Oh, whatever. Who cares?
I mean, I'm gonna try to